one is healthy, I'm going to do air quotes when I say that because every single year we say this, they somehow fall apart. But I'm going to have to go Clippers. I'm going to have to go Clippers in 6. I'm going to say Clippers in 6. I do think they're going to get over the hump this year. And I'm going to say this as well. I think they're going to play the Warriors in the conference final. There. I said it. I think the Clippers are going to get over the hump this year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this is the series that I would say the Clippers have so much riding on this series, okay? This is the burial season for the Clippers, so to say. Everyone's saying, CP3 was the best point guard of the last decade, but the guy has never been to a conference final in his career. Blake Griffin has been injured most of the time after beating up the trainer. Now he's coming off of an injury, and this might be the last hurrah for the Clippers. If it doesn't go right this year, everyone's saying they're going to break it up. Doc Rivers, we're already hearing rumors he's going to go back to his hometown of Orlando and coach them and be the GM there. So this is it for the Clippers. If they lose against Utah, I think they're going to dismantle, and everyone is going to go separate ways. Now, Utah, on the other hand, I love what they're doing. They have so many young pieces, and they added in veteran leadership. Joe Johnson is there. George Hill is their point guard. I love what they're doing. I still think the West is too talented for them, but I'm going to pick them against the Clippers. Probably in like you said, Game 7, man. It's going to be a great series, and I'm going to go ahead and pick them against the Clippers.
Okay. Well, man, I wasn't expecting you to say that, but you may be right. You may be right. We chat room is buzzing. Jay Fish says Clippers lose to the Jazz in the first round, so you definitely got somebody there. David Wilkes says Clippers will end up like the '90s Utah Jazz, just can't bust through. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna if the Warriors stay with this core group. No one out of the West, to me, is going to make it to the finals. Bearing injury. Yeah. But no one is coming out of the West. I don't care who you have. I don't care what you do. Bearing injury, they're the best team in the West, hands down. All right, so before I let you go, I got to ask you about the NBA MVP. It's a two-man race. We're very clear about that. I've said Russ. I've said it all season, basically. But who's your pick for NBA MVP and why?
Okay, so my awards probably same as everyone else in the all the other basketball insiders. I start most improved. Like I said, I picked Greek Freak Giannis Antetokounmpo. He just did an outstanding job this year. I think he's going to be in the top 10 players in the league next year. He's that type of talent. Sixth man, Eric Gordon of Houston. They're at the 3rd seed in the West. That's big time, and I think they're the team that can challenge Golden State. My rookie of the year. This was hard because we didn't have no rookie really stand out. Joel Embiid was my pick. He only played 32 games, but we just didn't have that rookie stand out. So I went on and picked Joel. Coach of the year, it was either Brad Stevens or Mike D'Antoni. I went on and went with Mike D'Antoni. What he's doing offensively is, man, changing the game. When other teams do what you do, you have to be voted that way. And like you asked me, MVP, of course, it's that guy in OKC, man, Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
The guy, he just does everything on the court. Averaged a triple-double this year. No one has done that since the Big O. People hate on him, say he's padding his stats. Anyone that's hating on him is people that never played the game before. Plain and simple. To average a triple-double is so difficult. And the guy does it every single night. So he's my pick for MVP. And I think, I hope they can pull it out against the Rockets.
Okay. Well, man, we'll see. Appreciate you so much for coming on, Mike Truth. Follow him at King of B-Ball News on Twitter. Man, well, definitely, I'll be talking to you because we're going to get you back on the show, the next show coming up. So appreciate you as always, man. Make sure you have a good one. We'll be watching these games.
I appreciate it again, man. Of course, anytime you need me, I'll be here. Make sure everyone follow me, like he said, King of B-Ball News. Right now I'm getting my draft, NBA draft. We're already getting our pre-draft going. So check me out. You see the top people coming up.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
All right, man. There he is, Mike Truth. We'll see. We'll see with these picks. I'll definitely have him back on because we'll definitely be talking about these picks. But we got a great playoffs coming up. I think from game to game, from top to bottom, I think it's going to be a great series. All right, so Jay Fish says, I had D'Antoni until Boston got the first seed. Yeah, to me, that is... Chief said at Princess of Backyard Basketball News. Oh, my God. That was hilarious right there. That's the true laugh out loud, not one of those fake laugh out louds. But I think D'Antoni, he has the same formula everywhere he goes. Okay, he has the same formula. To me, Harden is very, very similar to Nash. I think Harden is better than Nash. I would say that, night and day. But it's the same formula, and this formula does not work. We already know this. We've seen this time after time after time. And I don't think he is the coach of the year. I think you give it to Boston, especially with them getting the number one seed, especially with the way the players on the team are playing and the way they're playing for Brad Stevens. I think you got to give it to Boston. I think you got to give it to Brad Stevens. All right, so we're going to take a break, a very needed break, and then right after that, we're going to be talking with Theresa Plaisance. She is a WNBA player for the Dallas Wings, the local team here in Dallas, and she'll be coming on the show here in just a moment. So we're going to take a break. Right after that, we'll get into our interview with Theresa Plaisance. With the goal of enduring discussion and discourse amongst the population, I give you your weekly top 6. Join Michael Tochi and Adam Lee's strong-minded, bull-headed friends as they offer their top 6 choices on topics spanning the entire spectrum that is the experience of life. Listen as they berate each other on tackle topics ranging from guilty pleasures, convenience store candy, senior crushes, and TV theme songs while inviting you to offer your commentary. We open serves to foster debate between you and your family, your friends, your colleagues, estranged relatives, and future enemies. You can find your weekly top 6 on iTunes and Google Play. Also visit the website weeklytop6.com. Your weekly top 6, because you deserve a little bit more.
The Kicking It with KC Show, the Lonely Hearts Cafe, the Sports Done Right Show, the Sports and More Show, the Spicy Conversation Show, Cooking with the Microwave Show, the Bottom to the Top Show, the #1 Chief Rocker Jersey Burner Show, Eat, Sleep, Grind, and Repeat Show. Behind Closed Doors, from Mandelion. The Nathan Ivey Show. The Stacey P. Sports Show. The Jamara Report. The Wait a Minute Show. The 700 Block. DJ Queen's Music Mixes, the BS3 Sports Show, Traffic Jams with DJ P Funk. Let's go, give it to you.
Today's show is sponsored by Your Weekly Top 6 podcast. YourWeeklyTop6.com, also on Google Play and iTunes. You are now tuned in to the BS3 Sports Show. We are back in the BS3 Sports Show, and we got our special guest on the show for today, Theresa Plaisance. She is a player of the Dallas Wings. The season coming up here shortly, so I appreciate you coming on the show. How's it going?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's going pretty good. Wrapping up my season here in Italy. I'm about to head back to Dallas in a few days, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely, man. Playing, and that's the thing that I love about a lot of the WNBA players, that they play overseas in the off season and they come back over and play. And I know that's a lot to juggle and handle. So how do you handle, going from country to country and then coming back to the U.S. to play in the WNBA?
It gets tough sometimes, but it's totally worth it. It's so fun to come overseas and experience life over here. If you think about it, most of us live overseas. Technically, we spend most of our time in a European country, so it's really different for us just living in different lifestyles. I've played in Turkey, in Israel, and this season I was in Italy, and it's really unique to see how people live from a day-to-day basis, because it's really, really different from the way that a typical American lives their life. It does get exhausting. I know I have like a 4-day turnaround to get on a flight, a 16-hour flight home, and then go home, pack my bag again just to head to Dallas the next day. So sometimes it gets really exhausting, but you love the sport and you do it for the love of the game, so it's always worth it.
Definitely. And I know you guys actually just lost in the playoffs in Italy. So I am sorry to hear that, but talk a little bit about the season and, you guys and the season that you guys had.
We had a pretty strong season. I think we did a lot better than our management was expecting us to be honest with you. But we had a pretty strong season, and we took the third-seeded team to a 3-game series, best out of 3, and we took them into overtime in the third game, which really no one expected us to do. But this season has been a really fun season. I got to visit Rome a few times. I got to visit the Amalfi Coast. I got to do a lot of things in this country that you're really not able to do. Just the history here and just seeing everything. There's a lot of carbs, a lot of pasta and bread also.
Oh yeah.
So that was another thing to get used to. But we had a pretty good season, and I was really happy here. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so now you come back over to the U.S. The Dallas Wings season is going to be starting shortly. You guys WNBA just had the draft. You got some great picks. So how excited are you about this upcoming Dallas Wings season?
I'm very excited. I think this is going to be a really good year for us. And I know we're starting off really young, but I'm really excited about the players that we have coming back, and I'm pretty confident in our coaching staff and our management and the choices that they made in the draft. I think they did a really great job. I played against some of them in my college days as well, so I'm a little familiar with them. And I did some homework. I researched them a little bit, and I think we made some really solid decisions in the draft. So I think this season's going to be a pretty strong season for us.
Definitely. And when the players are excited about the picks, then that's a pretty good sign. We see some players that are not excited about who their teams have picked. So I think that's a huge, big ups to Dallas Wings and the organization. Oh, go ahead.
For sure, they did a really great job.
Definitely. And with you being coming from LSU, and the SEC is just starting to boom as far as basketball goes in the men's and women's. South Carolina really, to me, in the men's and women's, kind of came out of nowhere. But talk a little bit about playing in the SEC and what's your thoughts on how they played this year?
Well, the SEC conference has always been pretty strong. I know before my time with the